everyone, I'm Damian Holbrook from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider, and I am so excited to welcome you to DC FANDOM, and you are watching the Titans panel.
Titans are back, bitches! Woo!
Let's introduce all of you along the way. We've got executive producer Greg Walker, Brenton Thwaites, who plays Dick Grayson, Tegan Croft, who plays Rachel, Anna Jope, who plays Corey Anders, Ryan Potter, who plays Gar Logan, Alan Richson, who plays Hank Hall, Minka Kelly, who plays Dawn Granger, our new guy, Joshua Orpin, who plays Connor, and Connor Leslie, who plays Donna, and then Curran Walters, who plays Jason Todd, and Damaris Lewis, who's coming in as Blackfire. Greg, when you got your hands on this property, what was your first idea to do with this? Because in the comic books, it can be a little lighthearted.
The idea was to take, the Perez Wolfman comics and really live in a world where, there's been 25, 30 years of superhero movies since then, and the world has changed. And we wanted to put this in a real psychologically and emotionally grounded universe.
You guys got like the thumbs up from Marv Wolfman. He's
been in the writer's room too. It's been amazing. He comes around and, we'll hang out and talk about what it was like to write the books and give, he loves the show. He watches every episode, and he's still close with Jeff Johns. So we get the feedback from him, and he's really happy.
We've got a list of some fan favorite moments. We're going to kick off with my choice because I'm the moderator and I get to say that. And there were so many that I wanted to pick because there's so many great moments along these first two seasons. But the one I went with was Dawn taking down the meth lab in the second episode of season 2. Because I love this because it's so dark. It's so much shadows and just outlines. And then there's this humor, and it has this great button at the end. But my favorite thing about it is that Dawn is probably the least like her superhero character. Like outside of the uniform, she's mild and she's measured and she's got this soft way about it. Like I kind of want her to become like the team's therapist. Because she seems to really get it. Like she understands what's going on here. So let's look at this shot, this sequence from the episode Rose.
What the was that? Please don't kill me.
Where's your phone?
This is 911. What's your emergency?
There's a meth lab at 2751 Hollister Lane. It's being run by
3 complete dip.
3 complete dip. So, you better have someone come down and arrest us. Thank you for your time.
Your mother would be very proud. I have to give it up to Orphe. My stunt double really does all the work when it comes to having to navigate those wings, because they sort of take on a life of their own. Like the weight of them just takes you. So you really have to learn how to move with them when you're throwing yourself around. It's a fun challenge.
The first fan clip that everyone kind of like came to was this was a big one because I don't think anyone expected to see this so early in the show. It's Donna breaking out the lasso for the first time.
Corey, stop! You're hurting her! Corey! Corey, what are you...
Stop. Heck yeah.
I love the Corey and Donna friendship. It was something I remember reading about when I started doing some research. And so when I read that like they start off kind of rocky, I wasn't even mad at it because I knew that it would turn into this great friendship. And we kind of got a taste of that in season 2. So I kind of love that their friendship grew from this initial moment where they like butt heads, but it's because I think they're pretty similar in a lot of ways.
Don't all great friendships start out with a lasso around the neck? And
a little bit, yeah. But they all start off with like really kick-ass women.
Yeah.
Really? Can resist.
All right, let's look at clip 2. This is also one of my favorites because it has a humor to it that I don't think you were writing to, or maybe you had it there. But there is it is when Dick found out that Jason got to drive the Batmobile. And this is, I think it perfectly sets up that original dynamic between these two of like the big brother and like the annoying stepbrother. So let's run that scene from episode 6, Jason Todd.
Why are you doing this? Why do you even want to be Robin?
Are you kidding? This is the dopest gig ever. Hanging out with Batman, kicking bad guys' asses, being famous, driving the goddamn Batmobile.
He lets you drive the Batmobile? Wouldn't you rather have your own name? Like Sparrow or Blue Jay for Jason?
No. The whole point is being Robin. Batman needs Robin. Why do you think it makes us wear those lame colors? Because we're drawing fire. Look over here! And boom. The bat lands and starts trashing ass.
I think that scene describes it perfectly. They're, like you said, the brother-stepbrother relationship, you know, and the build between them over the season. And season 2 even showed more. So I think that was probably the best scene that shows the relationship for sure.
You know, with dialogue like, you know, the bat lands and starts trashing ass, you naturally hate the person that, you know, it's very easy to act like you're annoyed. And Corin does that so well with such a playfulness. It's very easy to connect with. I think that Dick is, you know, he's annoyed by that and he's frustrated by this kid, but essentially takes on the role of mentor and tries to inspire him to be, you know, to believe in the same things that he does and to fight crime in the way that Dick is learning to fight crime. And ultimately he fails in connecting with him. And that scene at the end of season 2 on the rooftop is kind of an example of Dick putting aside his problems and offering to open up that channel and you know, and kind of put it on the table as, you know, I'll help you and be a mentor. And I think it's a nice conflict to have with Dick, because that's the reason why he left Batman. Batman, you know, Bruce failed as a mentor and as a guider. And a lot of emotional trauma kind of comes from that with Dick, and essentially he's doing the same thing. So I think deep down it's that, you know, it's trying to be that father figure for Jason, but also, you know, dealing with the same kind of frustration and challenges that Bruce dealt with when dealing with him.
They need your leadership, Jason. You need to set the tone. I'm not Robin anymore. You are.
The next clip is quintessential Jason. So I'm not even going to set it up. So I'm sure you guys know what it is, but let's roll this clip from season 2, episode 1.
All we know is that whatever the cause of the phenomenon, it appears to have been abated by this new group of masked heroes. So apart from some dead birds, we seem to have...
Titans are back, bitches! Woo!
You're kind of an aren't you, kid?
Yeah, but you like me. Admit it.
Never gonna happen.
What's hard about these scenes for me, especially, I always love when it's Kurt and I, because he's, in real life, the most infectious, vivacious, effervescent soul I've ever met, you know? I mean, just so, always fun to be around, just, you know, doesn't have to be talking. You're like,
same with you, Alan.
Your review, you know? And so, you know, to always be the one, like, putting the lid on it, you know, in the scenes is actually tough.
When you're not filming, Alan makes you crack up 24/7 off camera. So that was just awesome to work with him.
this next clip is the scene with Crypto and Connor at with the Luthor strike team, and it has one of my favorite shots from this series. So let's run that first, and then we'll talk about it. Let's run that episode from episode Connor.
Everybody get down! Nobody move! Get down! Do not move! What in God's name's going on? You can't come into my house and order people around. Quiet! Hey! Shut up!
Stop that! What are you doing? What? No, stop that! Stand down! God damn it! I said stand down!
Subject targeted. Firing.
I mean, let's be real. Like, Crypto is the MVP of that scene and probably of the episode. So whenever you're in a scene with him, like, nothing can go wrong, man.
Josh has become also the unofficial assistant dog trainer. So Josh has dog treats in his hand all the time. That dog listens to Josh more than he listens to his own trainers now.
Shout out to Stefan, the stunt guy who did it. But he was rigged to this thing that like pulled him through a fake wall, and it took like 4 hours to set up. We had one that didn't go quite right, and we had to reset the wall. We got a new wall and did it again, and it ended up taking like the whole day pretty much to get that one shot. But yeah, worth it for sure.
And you and Brenton also had an awesome scene near the end in the season finale, actually.
Yeah, it was great. We had that iconic flying scene where we could kind of have our cake and eat it too. So no flying in Titans, except in my mind. Yeah, no, it was good. We had some great moments there with Dick and Connor. I'm hoping there'll be a few more in season 3.
Okay, and then the last clip that we have is this was a big deal for the people that were watching the first season, because it was really the first time we got to see the team working together. It is not 100% successful of a team up, but that's Titans. So let's roll the clip from episode 5 together.
Where's Dick?
I don't know.
Corey?
Stand back. Get behind me. It's time to burn. Night.
Dick?
That's Robin.
put your toys away when you're finished with them.
I'll say I'm so happy to see that this scene was voted on by the fans because it was so hard to film. I don't know if you guys remember, but we were filming in what we
hotel like 6 times or something.
Yeah, what we were lovingly calling the struggle motel in the middle of the night, and it was freezing. We went there so many times, and yeah, so I'm really glad to see that people responded to the scene.
It was super exciting for me because I'd worked with everybody individually and I loved everybody, and I was super excited to have everyone all together in the same scene. It was a really fun night, even if it was really freezing.
And shout out to the nuclear family. They were so dope. They're like my favorite. Amazing. Pitch perfect.
Damaris, we got a couple tastes of you at the end of last season, but now you're coming in full-fledged. Like, you're not just going to be a hologram. You're not going to be taking over characters. You're coming in, but I'm not completely sold on her being all evil.
It's funny you say that because the villain, I think the villain is generally always my favorite character in a lot of movies because there's a reason why that they're a villain. And I'm excited to see especially what gets cooked up for our duality, I would say, especially like with Corey being of the same, I guess, blood or whatever we have on our planet, and but with different ability. So I think it's going to be really interesting seeing what happens.
I'm coming for you.
Good.
Will we see Blackfire and Starfire as like what they were as sisters before this whole beef?
I think the good sister, bad sister relationship will have a microscope put on it, and it'll start to reveal complexity that we didn't know about it. The wider lens is, what an incredible cast. Like, the stuff is on the page, it is what it is. It either works or doesn't, but our cast brings so much. First of all, Ryan and Tegan bring so much of love of the books and knowledge of the books. So coming in, they understand the kind of nuances with these characters and the ways to connect. I'm so grateful for it because they bring a complexity that sometimes not. I mean, it's just surprising because sometimes it's on the page, but it needs a lot of help. And both of them really lift it up, both with their acting skills and their commitment to these characters.
There's a whole lot of work to do and no one to do but me. So let's get started.
And Ryan, you had that great episode where we're waiting for Connor to wake up, and you got to just do like the day over and over again.
That was a good time. Boris, our like season-long DP, was directing that episode a bit, and it was just a really intimate set than what we usually go through. There's usually like 100 people on set, and a lot for those sequences because we were like changing clothes every 5 minutes and going from one set to another. It was just like an entire day of just goofing off and like just coming up with new ideas, and like there was so much stuff that didn't make it because of how much stuff we actually shot of Gar in the Titan's tower just being Gar.
There's been a change in the relationship between Hank and Dawn. They are now trying to be consciously uncoupled. How are they going to function as exes in this new world?
They ask themselves a question at the end of season 2.
What if we give it another shot?
You think Hank and Dawn are over?
What about Hawk and Dove?
We answer that question early on and definitively.
Is there any job changes that you can talk about?
Yeah, I would say you may see someone in bike shorts and cop sunglasses. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, all right.
I'm doing my squats.
I was going to say, Alan, you might want to start doing some lower body. Okay, since Connor is on the panel here.
I am.
So what can you tell us, Greg?
Yeah, Greg.
What is the question?
Well, I mean, a lot of times if someone's been killed on a show, they don't come back for the panel.
It's true, but there are ways that we can kind of skirt some of the kind of normal life and death rules that are, for those of us who are kind of more, human bound. So we've got some exciting opportunities and stories ahead for Donna Troy and for Rachel and the whole, whole perhaps underworld we may like go into and see what it's like as a transition stage.
DC Comics loves a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
I can have no comment about that.
Okay, well then I want to ask, is the way Donna died going to affect how she might live?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I felt that was a very specific choice to kill her off that way.
Connor, what were you going to say?
Okay. Will Blackfire meet the rest of her friends? Because I need to know what she thinks of this group.
Oh yeah, she's going to have a room in Wayne Manor. Get ready. It's going to.
No, wait, seriously?
It's going to mix things up. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
This season, we're going to bring up a new villain. And it's a villain. If you've watched the show, you know that Jason Todd's had a rough run and he had a falling out with the Titans and it didn't end well. And even the Titans, as they kind of reunited as a team, were absent one member at the end who rode away on a motorcycle and had a fallout. And, there's that African proverb, if something along the lines, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And that child comes back in the form of Red Hood.
Wow.
Wow. All right, Karen, how do you feel about that?
All right.
Yeah, I'm very excited, obviously. And I feel some pressure, but I'm ready to take it on 100%. So I'm very excited. I've been wanting this for a while now. So
we've got some fan questions, and I want to get to these. Sarah from the USA wants to know, how would you describe the tone of season 3?
I think that in the world we live in right now, especially in the way that Titans can be, where we have beaten ourselves up for our past sins, and it's nice to be liberated. We have a character early on in the form of Dove who's going to kind of point the direction that we should go, and it takes us a long time to follow her advice. The big change is our team goes to Gotham, and there's a whole new set of challenges that lie and wait for us in Gotham.
Gotham is filled with iconic characters. Who can you tell us that we might meet along the way?
Oh, well, we've got a big one coming up in Dr. Jonathan Crane, also known as Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And we have another, classic character in the canon named Barbara Gordon. Commissioner Barbara Gordon. We've got 2, of the second gen coming up. There was originally Batman and Jim Gordon, and now we have Nightwing and Barbara Gordon trying to kind of deal with the mistakes of their parents, and it turns out a lot more difficult than anybody thought.
And I feel like Gotham is actually where Rachel would really flourish, because it's just so Rachel.
So edgy.
Yeah.
I feel that way as well.
I feel like a lot of people there have hoods.
Capes. She could really fly under the radar.
Sarah from Bahrain wants to know, are we going to explore more of Raven's powers?
My powers are changing, getting stronger.
Raven's going to be in a new situation as well. She's kind of pulled herself away from the Titans, and she's on a mission to kind of understand what her worth is in the world. So many of these characters struggle with destiny. Why am I here? Why am I a superhero? What am I doing? What's the point of it? And this is a season that a lot of people have to really ask that question and get. Some of the answers are hard, but the ultimately answers end to, I think, they find important answers that are part of the journey.
Jaden from the Netherlands, can Crypto get puppies?
Well, there is a biological reality here. I don't even know Crypto's gender.
Right?
I don't. Yeah. Josh, I gotta throw that one to you. Your Crypto's better.
Well, I can't believe this leaked, but that is a huge plot point of season 3, Crypto becoming a dad.
Everyone else has dad problems on this show.
Yeah.
Why not Crypto?
Right. Andre from Brazil wants to know, Brenton, which suit was your favorite to wear, the Robin or the Nightwing suit?
I'd have to say the Nightwing suit is my favorite to wear. It's a lot easier to fight in. It's a little bit more comfortable. It looks cool. We usually shoot in that costume at night. So, it lit up. It looks really cool. But it's great. It's something that I looked forward to right from the first episode of the first season. So it's I think we're all, kind of excited to see the suit and Nightwing and Dick Grayson come into his own superhero.
Perfect timing.
Things are getting super fucking ugly out here.
You're not gonna make fun of my suit?
I just did.
As you started to put together season 3, you talked about, you've built this family out. Is that something that you hope to really dig deeper into? Because sometimes the threat is to like tear them apart more.
We've torn them apart a lot. So it's not so much about tearing apart. It's just basically about the struggle to stay together and to do something great. To do something greater than the sum of its parts. Really, that's where we want to go. Again, it's kind of leaning towards optimism and chance and hope and possibility.
Cannot wait to see what comes up in season 3. I want to thank you all and congratulations on an awesome run so far. Thank you
so much.
I'm really impressed. It looks better than I wish I was the drawing in real life, to be honest.
The drawing is really, really beautiful. It really beautiful.
You know what I liked about it? If you look at the mouths, which is really all, everything's covered in mask, and you've got your ski goggles on or whatever we call those. There's so much pain in the mouths of these figures. Do you see it?
Especially,
so much pain. Like, how do you capture in like a pencil, whatever medium this was drawn in, like, how do you capture that much emotion in a few inches of skin that you have to tell the human side of the story?
So true. This is the details. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's gorgeous. Congratulations. Wow. Hannah from the UK, this cosplay is amazing. The fact that you got as close to this costume as you did and the amount of work it took for us to get to where we got, I'm really impressed. This is beautiful.
Andrew Hurst from the UK. This is really dope. Thank you so much for making this. I love how powerful and strong she is. And I also love that you have the curls in there. Shout out to Corey, season 1 with the curls. Yeah, I love it. So strong. Very good. Thank you so much. Really nice. Yes, Queen. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to meet you. This is so awesome. I love seeing fans of the show dressed up as Corey, and you just nailed it. You look beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I love the little hand fire power action. So good. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Thank you.
Dude, you look exactly like me. How did you do this? That's incredible. How did you do the makeup like that? Like, okay, so season 1, that was all VFX, and like some people, when everyone turned evil and they made their eyes black and then they put makeup on, but it took hours. This is so impressive. Thank you so much for doing this. It's really cool.